Hi. Can you hear me? Or is this... Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I can't hear me. And it's not the only thing I need to fix. Like, I don't know if it's because my dad was a contractor, or I'm Mexican, but this bothers me a lot. I'm looking at going, I can fix it. I already talked to the owner. I'm coming tomorrow. We're gonna redo this whole thing. We're gonna do drywall, fix the paint. It really bothers me right now. See, the quote just went in. Good. I think it's because my dad was a contractor. I go to people's houses, strangers' houses, just walk in and I look at stuff going like, yeah, that's wrong. And my dad, he was so good, he could give you an estimate with a whistle. That's how good he was. Like, I would go with him on job sites, and he would go, 4 feet, 8 feet. And he would look, write it down, you're gonna forget. White people would never believe him either. Like, there would always be the guy that we're giving the estimate to. He'd be behind my dad just listening to the whistles. At the end, he's like, oh my God, he's right. Oh my God. This guy's a genius. He measures with a whistle. It is crazy. I'm looking at this room. How many of you are white? Can you clap your hands if you're white? Yes. I love you. It's okay. It's your country. You can clap. You belong here. I'm the one that snuck in. Don't feel guilty. It's not your fault. You tried your best, but here I am. You gave it a good effort. But you were up, like, with a lot of competition, I'll be honest with you. So this is how I snuck into your country, sir. So in 1988, my Uncle Hugo, who was a crackhead at the time, and it's important to establish that because you'll hear it later on during the story, but it's important to know this. At that moment, he was consuming that drug. And somehow, some way, in 1988, you could cross this border here with just a green card. And so my Uncle Hugo somehow, some way negotiated some deal because my dad was trying to bring us into this country. He says, I can't cross him through the desert or to the mountains. These are kids. He's 10, he's 11. So my uncle gave him these green cards of these kids that look nothing like it. They're blue-eyed, green, like blonde hair. And my dad's like, Hugo, I can't use these. Look at my kids. They look like extras on Apocalipto. Like, there is no way. Look at these freaking kids. And I don't know if it was the brilliance of the crack or just my uncle was a genius, but he said, Lolo, on Halloween Day, just put on makeup, they won't take it off. I don't care what you think, that is brilliant, dude, that is brilliant. If you're gonna sneak in a kid to this country in 1988, Halloween Day would be the day. They're not gonna say, take it off, let's see his face. Nah, all right. It's Dracula, what are you gonna do? But there's a dilemma here, there's a problem here, guys. See, in Mexico, we don't celebrate trick or treat. We don't even know what that means. So, I mean, that's the selling point, right? If you're gonna sneak in a kid to come trick or treating, he should know how to say trick or treat. So now my dad had a dilemma. He's like, mijo, say trick or treat for what? Say trick or treat for what? They're gonna give you candy. Trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat, trick or treat. I practiced it, dude. I was so excited. I was coming to the U.S. and in this country, they give you candy just for saying trick or treat. Dude, I got so cocky. That's the only English word I knew, and I would tell other kids in Mexico, you know English? No, trick or treat. You know English? No, trick or treat. That's all I knew, though, but I'd use it, trick or treat. Put in a cumbia, trick or treat, trick or treat. When we got to the border, remember, you're dealing with a 10-year-old, like I'm a fat little Dracula with huaraches on. I'm ready. I'm probably trick or treat, trick or treat. When we got to the border, I thought that was the first house. I really thought that was the first house. And when they went to my uncle first, I said, oh, he gets the candy first. They go, where you going? I get little boy. I take him trick or treating. I bring him right back. We never went back. Lied. They came to me. What's your name? Trick or treat. Where do you live? Trick or treat. No candy. We ended up in Compton, California. Oh, do you know where that's at? Oh my God, if you haven't been, you should go. It's beautiful this time of year. Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. Oh, you're gonna love it. Okay, do you know Palos Verdes? Okay, this is Palos Negros. In 1988, that's what it was for. I loved it. I know this sounds weird, but growing up from another country and growing up in Compton, all we had was blacks and Latinos. That's all we had. So I would go to the Mexican supermarkets like an idiot as a 16-year-old, and I would grab beer. And I would go because I know she didn't speak any English either. And we'd get there and she would rung up the beer and she would bring it up, and she would look at me, mijo, are you legal to drink the beer? I would look at her, are you legal? All right, don't say nothing, they're gonna get us. Oh, I thought I was so smart. But when you're 16, you think you're smart. When you're 16, you think you're very smart. And I think that was the moment I was the biggest idiot. I was drinking and driving. And I knew I could get away with getting beer. And my dad would tell me, hijo de tu pinche madre, si te agarran, cabrón, te juro, te una pinche putiza, cabrón. No tienes papeles, güey, te van a mandar a Zacatecas, baboso. But he said, be careful out there, it is dangerous. So I still remember the day I got stopped, dude. I got stopped drinking, driving like an idiot. I'm driving, and I hear, Durr! Oh, God. And at 16, you still think, I got this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna outsmart this, motherfucker. I got this. Just lower the window, just lower the window. You got this, focus. Oh my God, that was in the window. And the cop is standing right there looking at you. And you're talking to yourself, go back, he's right there, bro. Trick or treat. He pulled me out of that car. And in 1995, there's no cell phones, man. It just came out. So there was pagers and there was a payphone. And the cop tells me, call your dad, tell him to pick you up. And I called my dad. I remember calling my dad at 3 in the morning. Dad, come pick me up, I'm drunk. And my dad on the other line, hijo de tu pinche madre, ¿cuántas veces no te va a madrear llegando? It's like, is anybody hurt? Are you okay? Do you need an aspirin? Should I bring a Gatorade? And now I'm waiting, because I know my dad's gonna kick my ass. And he told me, dude, over the phone, and I'm waiting, and I'm crying on the sidewalk. And I still remember the cop's face when I looked at him, because I remember in the U.S., if you tell the cops they're gonna hit you, they protect you. Or you found out it's not true. I look, dude, I'm crying. Mr. Police, my dad's gonna hit me. The cop just looked at me. He said, trick or treat. My dad showed up so mad, sir. I mean, so mad. You could hear him slamming the door. Like, he's like, hijo de tu pinche madre. He showed up drunker than me. screaming. Now we're both sitting on the sidewalk crying. They got you too, huh? Yeah. Did you say trick or treat? Yeah. Call my mom. She's drunk too, mijo. They're gonna get us. I wish that wasn't true. I think my life would have been different. Because at the age of 28, I married a Border Patrol agent. I know. A lot of people ask me, where'd you guys meet? I say, the river. She whistled. I thought she was flirting. I don't know what this means. I even told the guys that were running, it's for me, guys, don't worry. It's for me. I didn't know what was happening. So, no. You know what the crazy part was? I was doing a show in Calexico. And you know, when Border Patrol agents are not wearing their uniforms, they look like regular people. You'd be surprised. They look like regular human beings. And I met this girl at a show. And I told her, hey, next week I'm coming back because my cousin's getting married here in Calexico. I didn't know that was the border she patrolled. And she never told me she was a Border Patrol agent. So I was like, oh, whatever, dude. So we're talking. And I said, if I come back next weekend to my cousin's wedding, do you want to join me? She's like, sure, I'll be there. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. I don't know she's a Border Patrol agent though, okay? She doesn't know that the wedding is at my uncle's house. Because when she called me, she says, where you're staying? I'm staying at my uncle's house. But she doesn't know that that's where the wedding's at. So when she calls me that Saturday, I said, I'm running late. I said, don't worry. You can get ready at my uncle's house. Really? Yeah, come down, get ready at my uncle's house. He's like, okay, I don't know she's a Border Patrol agent. So here she comes in a white Tacoma to a Mexican wedding, dude. Full uniform. Oh my God. My cousin just started screaming, no se lo lleven! Like, the groom took off running. My uncle Hector took out a knife. Órale, puta! Like, dude, my cousin Junior started flushing the coke. They're here, bro. They're here. Oh, God. People always ask me, why do you do this, Richard? They're cleaning their nose. It's not like it came from their nose. So everybody ran. So that's how we got married. Like, the only guy with papers was the priest. So we're like, all right, bro, Padre, you already got paid. Let's do this. Let's go. I asked her to quit her job. When we got married, I asked her, you got to quit your job. She's like, why? I said, I miss my family. I haven't seen them in many, many years.